call this meeting to order. We'll begin with a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And call the roll, please.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Councilor Anthony?
Here.
Councilor Greco?
Here.
Councilor Haggerty?
Here.
Councilor Arnold?
He called and said that he cannot be here because of the storm restoration work that he's involved with.
Okay. Highway Superintendent Moyer? And Deputy Supervisor Okonowski.
Here.
Okay. I need a motion regarding the minutes of the two previous meetings.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meetings and to accept them as written, 3:12 and 3:26 of all three.
A second to that?
Can I correct something?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't complain against that property on Route 3. A person complained to me.
Oh, okay.
Not my complaint, okay?
Okay.
But I turned it in, okay?
All right.
But I didn't know anything about it.
By the way, they did go up there and took pictures and are doing something about
Well, somebody came to me and I
it. Yeah.
turned it in.
No, I remember you said that.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
my
No, I know it
complaint.
wasn't.
Okay.
I didn't even.
Want a second?
Okay, we had a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, with that correction. Okay.
I didn't get your second.
I guess that's it.
I had a letter just this week from Oswego County Department of Planning, Community Development. This is from Brian Frazier, who's the Director of Planning, and talks about the GIS system, the Computerized Geographic Information Systems, that enables the users to show both map and tabular data about any feature on or about the land. Modern computers enable the GIS user to quickly view and model both natural and man-made features. For more than 12 years, the Oswego County Department of Planning and Community Development has been developing an extensive geographic information system database. The data is inventoried, analyzed, includes census tracts, census blocks, roads, streams, water, sewer districts, wetlands, flood hazard areas, soils, surficial geology, zoning districts, agricultural districts, environmentally sensitive areas, and public lands. In addition, the department is initiating the development of three-dimensional all-terrain models and so forth. Anyway, goes on to say that if any of us would like to go up and look at it and see what they have and how it's used, we may do so. I think that they used a lot of this when they did our work for the comprehensive plan, some of those maps.
Give you any times?
No, no particular, just to call. Just thought I'd let you know. It's a good tool. Regarding ice storm, I guess I would particularly like to express my gratitude for all the people in this community, and there have been many, many, many. First of all, the highway department. They worked some long hours and did it very well. I had one lady said, boy, they were so courteous and good-natured, and even though they're dog-tired. I also know that the fire departments put in huge, huge hours and went above and beyond, you know, answering calls. They provided food, they provided a place for people to come in, they checked on people in the community who might need help. Just amazing. I just am really pleased, and I'm sure that the board joins me in expressing our huge appreciation for all the efforts, and a lot of other unsung heroes out there who did their small things. I know people who open their houses to their neighbors and so forth. So apparently there are still people, even to this evening, who still do not have their power in this town, but getting close now, I think. Old business, just the other day, the engineers sent feasibility study. I put it in your mailboxes. I haven't even opened it up yet. I don't know what it says. But what they would like to do, I'll read the letter, is enclose are 6 copies of the water feasibility study for, this is the one that Hannibal Street, Route 3, County Route 3, for their above reference project for review by the town. Please distribute to your board for review and comment. Following the board's review, please contact our office to arrange a time for us to meet and discuss this report with you. So I guess, you know, we'll look it over and then we'll call them and have them come in and meet with us. And
This is the one we had before.
The first one.
They reviewed it for that
so,
triangle.
you know, I would ask you to refrain from jumping to conclusions or anything else until after we have them come in and discuss it with them, what they've come up with. Should we set well, I wondered if we should set a meeting date, a special meeting, or wait till next time, or probably should wait till Dave's here so we know we can
Make it.
be there.
Well, okay, would you want to make it in conjunction with a work meeting or just?
Well, I think it's going to have a separate meeting because we got enough to do with.
Yeah, okay.
It'll take some discussion, I expect. The last work session, we talked about some fine tuning of the fee schedule. We already passed the fee schedule, but the wording on it, and also the possibility of, that maybe we should not have a fee for the electrical permit. Now, Dave was going to look into that. I did talk to a couple of the codes people. They have no problems with, they said they really have to issue a permit, but there doesn't have to be a fee attached to it for the electrical. You can just say, fee by third party, because it's the underwriters or whoever, you know, they have to get to come in that they would pay the fee to.
Did Dave get back to you? There were a couple of other
No,
people.
no,
He did?
no.
Okay.
So I don't know, what do you want to do about that? You want to wait for Dave to come back, or?
Well, he was going to check a couple of things, I'm trying to remember what they were, exactly, I can't right remember at this time, with all the things that could go on.
I did, he was just going to check with an underwriter, but I talked to the codes people. They couldn't think of any really good reason why it was necessary to have that fee after.
On the electrical, so.
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying we should remove it, or should we check
Yeah,
what
you
Dave
just
come
say-
up with, or?
Remove the $50 for electrical?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about doing.
Dave was going to check with the underwriters, and he didn't get back to it.
I don't really think it's necessary, because
You ought to remove all of them. Make a flat footage. Remove this and make this,
well, then you got people paying for things they don't need. People that have mobile homes, for instance, they don't have to pay for those other things.
You want to remove what, all of those?
well, that's
The
100,
plumbing?
that's 180. People are going.
We already had the discussion about the
Oh,
fee
you
schedule.
passed it. Okay,
We're just
yeah.
trying to fine tune it a little bit here. And,
See, these are all separate.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to need.
Everybody's gonna need plumbing.
no,
No?
if you have a mobile home, you don't need that.
No?
If you have a mobile home, you don't need the electrical. If you have a mobile, you don't need the,
If
Yeah,
somebody's
but-
going to put in a heating
But if you're
system.
building a home,
a home,
you're still gonna have to pay.
That's why we
a
also,
home. Well,
it's
I'm
a-
saying, when you come in for a mobile, just say, okay, this is how much you pay for a mobile, okay? If you're gonna build a new home, you go by the footage, square footage and all that. And then building a new home, plus means you gotta pay for.
no, we changed the,
Plus, well, you're just changing the electricity, but plus you're still gonna have to pay for,
no. You only pay in all cases. Well, if you have a pool, yeah.
Here,
But in all
H-
cases, you only pay for those additional ones that are needed, not the ones that are not required.
well, what I'm saying, you're not getting my point. If you're going to build a new home, you're going to need electrical.
You'll need all of those.
Why have you gotta pay $50 extra just for electrical? You're not getting my point, board.
Well, I thought if.
Why, you people passed it, but I'd like to discuss, why, if you're building a new house, why don't you go another a little bit more for square footage and this and that, instead of going plus, plumbing.
We're trying,
A new house is definitely gonna have plumbing, so you're gonna charge them $50 extra
a
for plumbing.
new house would have all of
Why?
those.
Why don't you just go a square footage a little bit more? Because our code enforcers, you gave a statement that our code enforcers got a pay raise, or we gave them more money or something. That was in the paper yesterday, in the Palladium Times, that we had to give our,
That is,
that's why we had to raise these
no,
here.
that's one consideration. Is
Well-
the fact that we are trying to be self-sufficient and not have the other taxpayers who don't need permits pay for this.
Why don't you
But
just,
there's more inspections, that's why they got the pay raise.
I
A
can-
lot more inspections. The point is, if you raise, to me, it's not fair to the person who, say, just has a mobile home, to pay a higher fee up here,
Why
because
don't-
they don't need these
Why
things.
don't you just say a mobile home, okay, this, for a mobile home, this is what a permit costs. For a new home, why should a new home have to pay $50 more for plumbing, $50 more for HVAC? All right, electrical, $50, you're just knocking it out. $30 for septic. That, if somebody builds a new home, of course they're gonna have all those things in, and you're charging them an extra $180.
Because this is low.
Okay,
We
you,
start low and add to it,
All right.
rather than start high and then have people
all right,
paying for
Nancy, you
things they don't need.
you four passed it and I went against it, but
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
just questioning, why
Well, I'm
why
trying
are
to
they
explain.
doing that?
I think it's, if, you know,
I don't,
it's more fair this way.
I don't think so.
Because this way, people are not paying for things they don't need, Rose.
New houses, they need all that.
Yes.
And you're double dipping with them.
No, because this, we're starting with a low basic rate and then adding only those things that they need.
Okay, you guys passed it, I just was wondering, if you're building a new home in this town, it'll cost you close to $500 for.
Certainly, and that's not unusual from, no different from any other town.
Don't go by other towns, think of Granby.
Well, I don't want to
Oh,
go
no
through that
arguing,
whole
no
discussion
arguing.
again.
No
The
arguing,
point is, do we want to do something tonight or what, or wait to?
no arguing. You passed it, just,
You
All
want,
we're,
you want to take out the electrical.
and we also talked about changing the wording
Right, I forget, see, this is,
to just make sure that people understood what that was all about. The wording for all new construction.
okay. So that all new construction, all dwellings including new and used, replacement, manufacturers' homes, garages, and other buildings, plus additional porches, renovation, remodel, and other construction subject to New York State building code. That wants to be added under the.
Instead of, all it said before was including additions, porches, rehab, remodeling. It didn't really,
This you want to put underneath.
instead of here.
Right, and then the footage, and then this. Okay. And
This
eliminate.
would be, change the
Yeah,
definition that follows all new construction,
okay.
okay? And then
I got you.
change this to eliminate the $50 fee for
electricity.
the electrical permit.
Because that has to be done by underwriters.
Right, they gotta pay an underwriter or the other, underwriter's only one of the companies they can call, but
Because I remember discussing that.
I can't see that people paying double.
Right, I remember discussing that with Dave, because
Right.
I had that work done on my house
And
7
he
years
agreed.
ago.
I mean, he was, I think, brought that up too.
Right,
That,
I'll make a motion that we make these two changes.
those two changes,
okay, and I'll second that.
okay? Any further discussion?
Well, Rose is right in one thing, yeah, if you build a brand-new house, it's gonna cost you almost $480 to be exact.
Yes.
But that isn't really an awful out of line at the cost of an average home today, you know, is what, $100,000, so that isn't an outrageous amount of money for
Jesus,
$480.
we was, at one time, we was $300 for a new house.
Well, how
Now,
many years ago?
Many years.
listen, just because our code enforcers got a raise and all this, now Nancy, I'm going by your statement in the paper.
I don't know where that state.
That's taking something out of context, Rose.
Palladium Times yesterday.
No, I don't get that, Ray. That's not what you
that is one of the reasons, but I didn't even see the article, but I remember telling her very clearly that the main reason was to be more fair.
Yeah,
Right, we don't want other people, I don't think other people should.
She asked if it was going to increase our total fees, and I said yes, and that's why I explained that we needed additional. But let's not go back into all that
No, but
again.
you're right. My big thing was that I didn't want other taxpayers that are already here.
Right. This
They
is
have
more
to pay
fair.
extra.
Because otherwise,
We gotta
other
subsidize
taxpayers
it,
are
doesn't
paying
work.
through their property tax
Right, we're
for
subsidizing,
something that they're
so
not
you wouldn't
using.
have to be doing this if when they come up for raises, say no raises, and you wouldn't have to be doing this.
We would still do
Oh,
it.
that's,
It's
forget
the New
it.
York State codes that's made the big difference for us.
They're doing spending a lot more time than they were before.
Okay,
Unfortunately, just to
So we're
finish.
not going to back to
Right,
budget
right.
discussions
I'm
tonight. We have a motion, we have a second.
mellow tonight.
Okay.
Ruth, you call the roll.
Yes, Counselor Anthony?
To take the electricity out of there? Yes, I'm for it.
Counselor Greco?
Yes.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Counselor Haggerty?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah, you might want that set. And we'll get a new, I like a new copy of when we get them, when we get them made up.
Yep, we will. We'll make, I'll have, it's on Mary Ann's computer, so I'll change them. Things on that. Okay, also, do you have anything yet tonight on the lawn mowing? Is that
I
still
spoke with one
working on that?
person, due to the weather, due to the storm, I was going out, and to make the story short, I was going out and inspect the Lewis Cemetery. And when I heard, they were supposed to clean it up in the fall, I heard I was gonna personally go out and inspect it, but due to the way the weather turned, I never got, with the storm and everything, I haven't done that. Because I offered to talk to people about it, and it was, I don't know. It's a-
Which brings up another whole thing. I understand that at least some of the cemeteries are in very bad shape because of the storm.
Right, and I haven't got a chance to get out
And
personally.
I'm wondering if we may have to get some help into
Which
above and beyond the usual lawn or cemetery
That's what
maintenance.
I haven't had a chance. I was planning either tomorrow or Friday to go around and do this. I'm hoping to get together with Lynn, talk to him tonight, see what we could do and see.
Because I think that Lynn's crew is going to be busy for weeks. And I think there may be some federal funds or state funds or something, and we have put in the application for our town.
Okay.
And this would be a good use of that money to clean up cemeteries to the extent that there are big trees down and that sort of thing.
I'm sure that Lewis must be a disaster. Do you
I
know
think
by
it was
any
Lewis
chance?
that she was
I
talking
haven't
about.
been through them, I've heard that they were.
No, but I didn't know
Yeah.
by going down the road if you'd been out that way to see if
I've
anything.
been by, but I
And we do have, and it is our duty to do that. I mean, we have to keep those cemeteries in.
It's a good thing we got all
Decent
those
shape.
trees along the road down there.
So,
Yeah,
That would have been,
like I said, I was gonna get out there, but I haven't.
I think we should be giving serious thought to, and I don't know who you're gonna get this time of year. I mean,
You mean-
right now, to
You
do
mean
it.
The people, the professionals that do it?
Right.
They're backed up so far that,
Think about it, folks. I think that's gotta be done before we get into lawn mowing season.
Actually, I would like to
Uh-huh.
take a go with Vince, maybe look at these things. If it works out, I could, I'm not saying we can take down trees, but maybe my men and I can, or my men can help clean it up. I was thinking about the Roundup too, because we sprayed that wall over there one time at Lewis. And, I'd be happy to spray it again. So if Vince and I could get together, maybe,
you're talking about your own personal crew up here.
right, to take a look at things as far as trees and, I don't know, some of these huge things. You could chip it up? Is that?
Yeah, you could get it out to the road, we could take care of it from there when we do our normal cleanup down the road.
We dragged a lot of stuff out that one time. I have no problem going back in and take a look at it. I'll go up with,
Yeah.
get together with you and I'll
After
get
the
together.
meeting, because I'm gonna talk to Lynn, and I think it got
Somebody to drag the stuff to the edge to chip it up, if I understand. Am I right?
Right.
No.
Appreciate that, or.
The Mexicans can do a lot of pulling there. We can get a lot done. I'd like to take a look at it. Let me take a look at it, if you would.
Along the same lines, cleanup, Lynn and I were talking the other day about the need, and Ruth and I both have received many, many phone calls in the last 2 days since we got our power back here, about what are you going to do here in Granby about tree limbs? You know, we have no place to put them, we don't know what to do with them. Did you find out anything today?
I found out a little bit. I had a meeting this afternoon up at the county building. The state was there in the county. In essence, what the state and the county told me about the same thing, that they're going to clean their right-of-ways. Meaning, they don't really want you to tell people to drag the brush out to the edge of the road, but I think if it's there when they come through and do their initial cleanup, they'll take care of it. What they don't want to do is start responding to phone calls weeks later saying, okay, now my brush is all out here on Route 48, I'd like you to come to get it because it's going to be too late. So I think as far as if you live on a state or a county road, I would, and you need help getting rid of it, I would get it out to the edge of the road and hope that they're going to grab it when they come through. One of the things, I don't know, Morris will probably talk about this later, but the county waived tipping fees at Bristol Hill. So if people want to take their own stuff out, they're in a hurry to get rid of it, they can
We've
take it
told
out there
people
without
that,
any
yeah.
charge. So.
I've told that to several people. Although I don't know that there was a fee for individuals anyway, was there? It was a fee for the town.
The fee for the tree people and so on.
Right.
We waive that with the crews and all because of so much. If it's chipped up, you know, a lot of them are chipped, we're waiving the fees.
Are you saying it's gotta be chipped up to bring it out there, or?
Well, it's the best way to handle it because I don't know how you could get tree limbs on it. I mean, if you're a pickup and you got a few on there, that's one thing, but if you got a mess like in your yard, the chipper's the only way to get rid of it. And then they can dump it out there for nothing.
Have you thought more about what we might do as a town?
Well, I think initially we'll handle it the same way then, because we have to travel just about every road, both sides of the road. And as we go through there, if there's a pile of brush there that people have brought out to the road, we'll take care of it at that time.
Do you have a chipper then?
Yes, we do.
I think that's gonna be true, like he says, if it's side the road when they go through, that's the time to get it. And right now is the time because the state and the county are all working together, and they're doing it in the city, they're doing it out here.
Yeah.
It's the advantage, anybody that got something, you know, to drag it next to the road because it's gotta get out of there and they'll chip it up. I think now's the ideal time. After this, when these crews all move out of here, like tonight when I come through, there was about 7 trucks winding around here, tree trucks and all. So now's the time, because they'll be gone.
But a lot of those trucks I see, Morris, they're cutting it down and they're just leaving it fall right there in your yard.
Right, but that's because they're a tree cutting crew, they don't have the trucks to chip.
So
The chippers will be somebody else.
What I'm hearing from you and you, Lynn, is if we bring it by the end of the road, they're gonna come by with a chipper and chip it and leave you a pile of chips right there and you take
They'll
those.
blow it into the truck.
Blown into a truck.
Oh, okay.
If you need loads of chips, then I catch the people and say, hey, can you drop me a few loads? They're gonna need to get rid of it someplace.
All right, well, because you know I got a big pile of light, I just gotta drag them up further.
In my backyard, that big tree, I got all the limbs down. If I just drag them to County Route 8, you guys will pick it up?
County.
Count.
Oh, county.
Get it around the edge, Rose, that's all I can tell
All
you.
right, right at the edge, okay. All
Get
right.
them close enough so they can grab them.
You gotta have town roads where I see some of them, but you got some, you'll be from now
We've
to
had people
July.
call from, you know, town roads, county roads, state roads are all calling and wondering. And even a tree company called. It says,
nobody
call the
should-
county.
Nobody started, even the city of Fulton, they just got big piles on all the streets, but
Piles.
nobody's
Yeah, well,
done any chipping yet to speak.
It's gonna take some people a while to get the help to get the stuff out to the roads. So you don't think we should advertise any particular event or anything, just tell people as they call?
That's what I would do. Because we really can't set up a schedule. Because one road might take us 6 hours, another one might take us a
Right.
day and a half.
I know, it's gonna be a long
Depending
time.
on how bad it is.
People are gonna have to be patient. But I am telling people about taking their own stuff over to the landfill if they've got a neighbor or somebody with a pickup truck.
And we're trying to put those kind of costs, to submit those costs in the form that you're putting together for the submit, get a rough estimate and submit it. We may get help,
Now, there won't be any help for individuals, will there?
I I can't say that right now, I don't think so.
I didn't think, we've had that question come up too, and we didn't think so.
One of the issues that I'd like to bring up, there's trees and things that maybe some of these wood people that need wood, they might have logs or they might have firewood that you can work out deals with. So many people got so many trees they gotta get rid of. Might be a way of doing it. I don't know. I hate to see people being scalped at this point because they're in a problem. Because most homeowner insurances are only paying about $500 out of your homeowner's insurance, and that sometimes doesn't do very much.
Most people carry close to 500, so where you going there?
Well, I'm saying, the homeowner's insurance has a clause, I think most of them run around $500 that they'll pay to help you take a tree down or whatever, but that's about it.
They're backed way up, they're way back. I called Friday for my telephone and cable Friday. They just came this morning. And they said
You're
85.
lucky.
They said 85 still didn't have power this morning.
I understood there's people on Sharp Road that don't have power. It's a little worse than they were predicting a day or so ago, as far as the restoration
Why, when did
schedule.
you put your phone on?
When we came back Saturday afternoon.
Okay,
I just got mine on.
now, this is very important.
I was close.
The elections, last year, the county changed the legislative districts, and this year, they changed the voting districts. Well, the voting districts are not necessarily the same as the legislative districts. The bottom line is, we had 5 districts, and we now have 7. It's going to cost us more because we're going to have 7 sets of election inspectors for every election. I guess I hadn't made enough.
Well, it's
Yeah, I think I did not sure. So, first I'll go through, see if it makes sense. We used to be, on the right side here, what was 1 and 7, used to be District 1. So that district has not changed, essentially. It's just been split in 2. So the upper part is now going to be called Voting District 1, and the lower part from South Granby Road South and also up around Jones Drive is Voting District 7. Therefore, those people could still vote at Cody Wilcox Road Fire Hall. They'll just have we'll have 2 tables set up with 2 sets of inspectors, 2 machines. But, in thinking this through and trying to arrange it so that as few as possible people will have to change their normal voting place. Now, District 3 used to be both north and south of Route 176. Pretty much what 3 and 4 now are. They've split that. They've added to District 3 up on the north edge. And you see that Granby Center is just south of that heavy line. The heavy line is State Route 3.
Oh, okay.
And so Granby Center is now no longer in District 2, it's in District 3.
I see. I can't picture where this Pine Hill Creek Road is.
That is bordered by 8, by Honey Hill, and the west side of Chase Road. That's going to be District 3. District 2 is above that, with the exception of these 2 small districts, which is District 5, way up in the corner, west of Ridge Road. And that's the one that is the district that was larger than that. We did go over to 8, I think. That was...
7, was it?
no, Lowerndorf's is the current legislator in that district.
Yeah, that's from Minetto.
Right.
Yep.
There's Mr. Simmons is no longer a legislator in Granby, hasn't been. So they've just absorbed that
Right, I
voting
don't know why they
district.
even left that little
We
piece
got-
there.
I don't know. It
We
makes
got
no
Clay
sense.
Brewer, haven't we now?
And number 6 is the one that's the district currently,
For Clay Brewer.
current legislator is Clay Brewer. And that is bordered by the east side of Chase Road, by Honey Hill Road and the railroad tracks, and also includes the apartments.
When you vote,
Don't change my vote, it's still the same
you
for me.
still vote at the same places?
Well, you can't. It's impossible for everybody to vote the same places, so
That's gonna be a screw up, isn't it?
well, not too bad. Like I say, 1 and 7, these people will still go to the same place.
Cody.
4 will go to the same place,
Boys go where now, down here? What's,
community center.
oh, community center.
What I would suggest is we have 2 districts at the community center, 3 and 4, because that's centrally located. And then 2 and 5 and 6 will continue to vote at the Granby Center Fire Hall. That's where they've all voted before. The only people will be these people like you and
Yes.
folks around Granby Center will have to come to community center instead of the fire hall.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Because
Well,
we can't put a fourth.
before, if that's going to be, people should be notified.
They
that
will.
they'll be
The Board of
furious,
Elections. The Board of Elections has to do that.
Because they'll be furious if they go to one place and then they.
But, no, that's their job to do that, and we'll also try to do some advertising. But that, it looks like, is the way that we can do it with the fewest people having to change where they go to vote. And also, it allows us, we don't have to go out and try to find another polling place. Just tough. It's best to have a public place that's
There's a
gonna
lot
be
of-
there,
lot
not,
of people in 3.
yeah. So,
Well, you have 3 and 4, so.
there's separate districts.
Yeah.
But we got plenty of room over here to have 2 districts vote.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But
and we
I'm
got
saying-
plenty of parking over there too.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm saying, if they go to the fire barn and say, well, I voted here so many years.
I know, it's gonna be hard, but
Have to be notified.
I think that's the best bet, because that'll be these people south of State Route 3, plus that little chunk up there that jogs up to Honey Hill. And, does that make sense? In other words, voting districts 1 and 7 would go to Cody Fire Hall.
Okay, you got it.
Voting districts 3 and 4 would go to the community center over here.
Yeah.
And voting districts 2, 5, and 6 would go to Granby Center Fire Department.
5 and 6.
They've always had 3 voting districts up there, but we're just adding 1 to each of the other places.
Need a motion
Yeah.
approving that.
I know it.
Well, I think if the election people send it out, everybody gets it, and we talk about it, they advertise it or something.
Yeah.
No, well, this, but what I have to have tonight, and we always have to do this every year, but it's especially important this year, is to designate our polling places, because we have to notify the Board of Elections.
Right, okay.
And then they send the cards, and I hope they put it in big letters where to vote, because people are not gonna notice that it's different. And a few people, it will be
You could
different.
even put notices like at the fire department, say, before
Yeah, but
they even go in.
some
It
people
could
are coming from here, some are here, some are here. They're coming from different places.
We got 2 legislators tonight. I'm sure after the legislators make this change, they're gonna publicize it besides the polling people. They'll let them know, hey, guess what?
I'm gonna let you know where it is.
I'll tell you.
Door to door.
I know, I was, it never changed.
That's right. Well, the reason why this happened, District 2 and 1 were too large population, that's what the change was. It wasn't any other
2
reason.
and 1?
There's too many people in a district, they can only have so many people
Right.
in a
That
district.
was part of
Consequently,
it.
that's why they had to split them up.
Reforge them, huh?
So you had too many people in 2, the old 2 and 1 was too full, too many
I don't know
people.
what you did with that 5, they should have just flipped it over. Left it in 2.
Yeah, I don't know how we ended up.
What, you got 10 people up there?
Up where?
A little piece of 5.
The last election, when it was bigger than that, there were only 5 people who voted or something.
A lot of people in this.
Well, yeah, but there's nobody up there.
So,
I'll make a motion.
motion that we have designate,
I'll make a motion designating the polling places in the town of Granby to be as follows. Voting districts 1 and 7, Cody Fire Hall, Wilcox Road. Voting districts 3 and 4, Granby Community Center, County Route 8. Voting districts 2, 5, and 6, Granby Center Fire Department, County Route 8.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay.
I'm gonna write these on that map here.
Any further discussion on that? Ruth, you want to call the roll?
Ms. Counselor Anthony?
Yes.
Counselor Greco?
Yes.
Supervisor Hawthorne?
Yes.
Counselor Haggerty?
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to tell you about this, I understand that the federal government is going to pay for new voting machines, is that correct?
That's what we hope is right.
But not this fall,
Be a screw up.
but they will be something more modern and smaller. When I was up to Cody the other day, they said, can't we get these voting machines out of here? Well, they were in the way because we had a lot of people up there trying to work around them. I said, well, we probably need them this year, but after that, they'll be much smaller. Probably, maybe even more portable, so I don't know.
They're smaller units, and eventually, I think that the Board of Elections will be taking this on
Right.
board. So,
But they are providing one machine for each district. Do you think that one will be sufficient, or will we end up having to buy additional ones?
one machine, you mean?
Yeah, because some of our districts, we have 2 machines going.
We've always had two up in one.
and
Yeah,
we
but
do
that's
it in
because of so
3
many
usually.
people.
Pardon?
They've cut the people down, so they feel that one machine's gonna be enough.
Well, up in one, you're still gonna need two. You've got 2 people, 2 districts. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but,
for each-
yeah,
one
but
for each
each
district, but
district,
I mean, within each district, will we need more than one machine?
no. That's what they're saying, no.
Let's hope not.
Hope not. It will be more costly though, because like I say, we're adding
You gotta have inspectors, that's for sure.
8 more inspectors at least for every election.
I don't know where they're gonna get these inspectors. You can't get them now, do
You can't get them now, you're right.
That's right.
I know it.
Okay, that's an important piece of business we got taken care of.
You might want this yourself.
Yep.
Maybe that would be all.
Liquor license renewal, that was PC Duck, which is Club 48.
I thought it was the gentleman's club, now it's PC Duck.
We don't have to vote, no, Club
we don't have to.
48 is the other one, the studio.
Oh.
Get your bars wrong.
I got it right.
The studio is the...
Yeah, the other one up the street,
the
yeah,
other one,
Chris and
yes,
what
I
you
think.
call it, right.
It's just an announcement.
It's just an announcement, I should have put it up with announcements, that we don't have to take any action on that one. And I need a resolution to transfer $100 from, I think if it's okay, we'll take it out of general repairs for unemployment insurance, because the rate went up and we're running short on that
Okay,
already.
I'll make that resolution.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye. Okay. Our esteemed legislators
Boy,
are
we
both
got a-
here tonight, so
We either get
they
one
must
or
be
none
very
or
important.
two.
No, you're gonna talk tonight, I talked last month.
Thank you, sir.
If you forget something, I'll let you know.
All right, I know you will. Just to touch down on the storm, we declared, as you well know, on Friday, the incident there, we did declare it a disaster area, and believe me when I tell you, if you haven't been down to the Emergency Operations Center, I spent, I don't know, 4 days down there, but anyways, it's quite a place. You can't believe the amount of people, from safety to Red Cross, the police, the firemen, the health department, the social services, and on, that all coordinated in one area where we were able to get help for a lot of people. They called in there. In fact, I had a lady on the County Line Road that is terminal, and we were able to get a unit there, a generator, and through the fire department, and that's where we worked. It was well coordinated. We had the portable office of the fire coordinator outside. Everything went fine, and at 12 o'clock, as I was there, the lights went out. In our unit, the generator that runs the operation quit. So we put my fire intelligence together, Mr. Hubbard, and I turned the engine over, and the diesel engine was out of fuel, and I couldn't figure out why, and accused everybody of everything. But what it boiled down to, I eventually said, get the lines off, and we stuck it in a waste paper basket, filled the gravity flow with the diesel fuel, and we got the thing running after a while. Then eventually they found out that someone had wired the circuit wrong when they did some wiring in the building. So anyway, that
that's one of the instances, but unbelievable effort, unbelievable volunteers. Carol Hunn, for example, that worked with the Red Cross people, the blankets and the centers were open. The fire department's here. I was able to get out eventually. I went through the fire departments every morning for 3 days, and they had kids in these fire departments here sleeping overnight with their families. These guys, they finally moved in other crews from other fire departments to relieve them. It was just a combined effort on all these departments. I just can't say enough about them all, and all the volunteers that were out there. So we are applying for the disaster declaration as we submitted for all the towns, fire departments, and everybody included. And right now, the governor has declared 13 counties. That's a designation already. Now we're going to bring it into a federal, hopefully, and then maybe we can get some of the dollars that you people have spent and the fire department spent. So that process is in go, and the other thing I have that's of interest to the Granby people is we're running a weed program this year where we're going to try to do some experimental test plots at Ox Creek for chemical control of the weeds. It's being done by Cooperative Extension in conjunction with the owners who have those properties, who must also submit to the fact that we're doing that. But it's going to be small plots, so that's just like any, they're going to test out some different materials. Some of this material's already been approved. It's just the state of New York hasn't approved it yet. Oneida Lake is going to have an application on the Oswego side, and it's a material which is related to 2,4-D, which is what you really put on your lawns, and it's pelletized, it drops down, and it's really working real well, because the harvesting is just not working out. We cannot keep it up. Our neighboring county, Onondaga, is having a great deal of problem. So the 5 counties that under regional planning have secured funding and are trying to get some chemical work done. So we're working on it. This is something I think is going to be important for all of us eventually if we get this kind of work done. So we have to make a start, but I might say this, Oswego County is in the lead, and the Ox Creek Water Association is one of the few organizations in the whole 5-county region that was willing to work in this manner. So I'm real proud of them and doing that. Aside from that, you mentioned the election districts changes, and that is being changed, and that is going on. And let's see, Floyd, what am I forgetting? Your GIS, I strongly recommend your planning board to be able to give Brian a call during the day or sometime so they can see that system work, because that'll really help them a lot. That is a great system, so if you have a chance to look at that. Mentioned about the cemeteries, I'll be happy to go with you and take a look at them, Vince, and see what we can do maybe to help out the situation so that maybe he can get the material. I'll work with you on that. Other than that, the county is tightening the screws on spending real bad, real tight. Anything over $500 today for any piece of equipment has to go to the administrator, myself, to be okayed. Anybody that's hired in the county government today has to, our personnel director, the administrator, and myself, we call a vacancy committee, we have to give a recommendation. And then it goes to the committee itself, which can overrule us, but usually they go by the recommendation. So there's a lot of things going on. We're still, as I say, tightening the screws down, right, Mr. Boyd?
It's going to be real tight, or it's going to squeak.
It's going to squeak.
But tell them about the public hearing set for tomorrow night.
Public hearing, I got to think for a minute.
Ross Thursday.
Tobacco money.
Tobacco money. Yes, and of course, just to top it all off, what you heard about the tobacco industry here just recently got that, was it $12 billion in Wisconsin? It's going to bankrupt these companies, and it's a sad situation. They're trying to kill the cow that they're getting the milk from by having those kind of huge court cases. We were trying to securitize our tobacco dollars so we could use that for the next 3 years, and that's selling our share of the tobacco monies to help bridge some of our financing for equipment and some of the stuff that we had to pay down on our debt. Now it's a question whether we can, how that market's going to hold up, because of these rumors we're hearing now. So we're trying to do all that. Our new administrator is doing very well. Work with him real well. Steve brings a lot to the table. He's quiet, but he's deadly and works that way, and that's good. So, yeah, Rose.
I have a question. Do you know anything about this new law coming out that you can't smoke in public places?
That new law is coming out, yeah, I know that.
I understand they passed it.
They did pass it now.
Well, there's petitions going all around to Senator Wright. Say for instance, my small bar.
Well, there's what, is limited, is it 50?
You can smoke in your bar, Rosie.
Huh?
You can smoke in your bar.
Well, I'll go see President Bush if I have to. But my bar is so small, I don't handle food. And they're telling me that people won't be able to smoke in there after July.
No.
Oh, they're all up in arms. Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, tell me.
Well, basically because it's small.
Anything under 50, right?
Yeah,
Under 50.
and you don't serve food, you know, so as far as I
Check that
understand.
out, that's something we coming out, Rose. Anything to do with the health department, I'll get you a notice.
Can you give me an answer on that? I don't know what, they're all up in arms because my bar is very small. It's just one room, you know what
Well,
it
the
is.
capacity has got something to do with it. So, I'll get that information.
My capacity by Atlantic Inland here is 49.
49.
You're safe, sweetheart.
You're safe.
I've always
No
been
problem.
safe, baby.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, Senator Wright's got petitions all over Oswego County coming out, and people are against it because it's going to hurt. If they pass that, it's going to hurt a lot of taverns. It's going to hurt. I could see when you're eating and you don't want smoke in your face, or you know, but people come in a bar and they enjoy a drink and having a cigarette.
I know it's a tough vote in the legislature down there, but I don't know. We better find out, though. I'll try to find out from.
Would you find out for me?
Yep.
I don't know what I do.
Because I'm not totally familiar on what the exact count, but I understood it was 50 and lower.
That's the way I heard it, it's understood. But,
I'm not sure if that's.
What do you mean 50 and lower? It won't affect.
Well, let us find out. I'll be happy to do. I'm gonna.
I serve food. She got no food.
I have no
I don't want to tell her something I don't know.
Deviled eggs.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. Roll, you can go ahead and do.
I got
We
one.
come looking for Floyd at me.
Okay.
Morris, you'll get back to me on
Yeah.
that. The two things I asked you tonight.
Right. Tobacco,
And I welcome him back to the board.
Okay. We have a report from the dog control officer. Number of dogs picked up 2, number of dogs released 3, and number of dogs on hand 1. We have supplies and advertising of $80.97, and we have Monthly mileage, 437, and adoption fees collected, 15. Don't have anything from the assessors. They're busy processing all the exemption forms and so forth. Nothing from historian. By the way, we are not going to do the Heritage Day.
No?
Okay.
Just
What is it?
Heritage Day. We've done it for 5 years. It's a very nice event, but we really don't have enough help. And it rained the last 2 years. So we'll give it a break this year.
Right, okay, probably a good idea.
We should be thinking though about Citizen of the Year, because we can still do that somehow, you know?
Okay.
So,
Somebody brought a name to me one day for that. Do you think I could think?
what do you think of it?
Well,
If it comes to me, I'll...
Yeah, let me know. Maybe we'll have to arrange some kind of, maybe a presentation at a board meeting instead of, something like that. I don't know, we'll do something to make sure that they are properly recognized.
Be better.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it, decide how to make it better, or
Rough winter.
whether it's worth, you know.
rough winter, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, it's harder to. Highway superintendent.
What I was gonna talk about, we already brought up with the storm and the limbs and that kind of stuff. I would like to, when something happens, it seems like it's a time for us to get up here and say how great everybody else was doing, but I do have to thank the fire departments in the town and the other fire departments that came out, because our crew of 7 guys, and we've got 60 miles of town road, and just about every one of them had trees across them at one point or another. In the county roads, every county road in the town, with the exception of 14, I think that had one lane through it for most of the night, but the rest of them were all blocked. And we'd still be working, trying to get them open for traffic if it wasn't for the fire departments, because they went out with chainsaw crews for 2.5 days and helped us get things opened up. So, and then they fed us lunch in the meantime, so they did a great job. I've been trying to find a piece of there's an arm that goes on the so I did, and so I'm gonna, if you didn't bring it down this morning,
Oh.
help us put it on the machine, and so we're out using that this afternoon, so that's gonna really speed up our cleanup a lot. We just go down the road and load it right in the dump trucks and take it right out to the landfill, so that's gonna be a big help to us. I was at the meeting today, they set up a
for the summer. Been working on all these things that I've been talking about, and also provided the monthly financial report to each board member. And we're in good shape on all these accounts. So, town clerk, tax collector, maybe we should put the tax collector hat on you today.
Yeah, today was tax collector. I'm preparing just to take back the taxes tomorrow, and hopefully everything will be in order. I expect it to be.
You're good. Any reports from board members?
No, I'm working on different things we already
Yeah,
discussed.
yeah, you got a bunch of, you want it, he can help you.
Well, like I said, I've talked to one, I've
Volunteering
got a couple other people I want to talk to as far as the cemetery, but right now, we're going to see what the mess is. I haven't had a chance due to the weather.
You'd be sorry you retired. Oh, I need a motion to pay the bills.
Rick, you looked at them, I didn't get a chance to look at them.
Yeah.
I like to
Make a
look at
motion to approve the payment of the bills of the town as audited for abstract 4A-03 in the amounts of $7,454 from general fund, $13,603.93 from highway fund, $83.38 from Little Bob Lighting Fund.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just like to look at them before I make it.
The next meeting will be a work session on the 23rd, and then the regular meeting May is on the 14th.
Goodbye.
Public comment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, we adjourn. Thank you all.
I know you're up early tomorrow. You had to be up early this morning.